So, Will Cook of Trion Worlds, you sent me a mail and you were like, hey, I made a cool game. Here's some codes. Here's some special codes. Jerry Holkins of Penny Arcade fame.
I think I addressed it to your spam filter.
But, the joke was on you because I already actually owned the game. So ha ha ha.
That's true. You own the game and you were acting as your own spam filter.
Yeah, that's my task.
That's
But it was one of the interesting things, like the first time in recent memory I've heard the term buy to play was associated with Atlas Reactor. So buy to play wasn't always the plan, right?
correct.
That is correct.
Is that scary and weird? I mean, it's making games in general seem scary and weird by itself. Like,
There's plenty of scary and weird to go around, so I guess it's how scary and weird.
yeah,
At any particular stage of this process, and changing monetization models is up there.
oh god. Well, yeah, because so much of its identity, like so much of the identity of a game sort of gets colonized by that, right?
You got it. Yeah, and colonize is kind of the right word. People like to defend their homes with violent words. Yeah, we took some convincing, but then we were shown the merits, and I think I can speak directly from a designer point of view.
Yeah.
Not having to worry about free-to-play monetization tactics is kind of a godsend, right? I can just say everyone's got all the characters. Everyone can just play ranked. You don't have to worry about drafting not working for certain people or not having enough character access.
No, but basically, it lets you design. I mean, for lack of a better term, right?
Yeah, it certainly puts it a lot more on your shoulders to make everything feel real good.
Absolutely. So in your game, these characters that you have are freelancers.
That's correct.
Is that right? Because everybody has to have a name for their LoL champions.
Yeah, and you can't just say heroes unless you have the most money.
Then you can apply it as a prefix
Yeah.
right on the rest of your thing. But yeah,
I like Lancers. Our Lancers, we get to have some fun wordplay. We got a skin theme called the Necrolancers. I like that very much.
that's a huge plus.
We got our freebooters, our pirate themed skins, right? So there's wonderful synergy with the word freelancer.
Listen, so I have a question for you. How do I show people this awesome dog?
Click on Lockwood there.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, you can just click on him, and then you click
Yeah,
on
yeah,
him.
it's Pup, right?
It's Pup, and he is
This,
awesome.
dude, 'cause so who can you give props to for this dog? This dog is holy shit, man. This is one of my favorite designs of all time.
That's wonderful to hear. He's one of mine as well. He was actually the first thing that one of our concept artists did. It was part of his application, actually, was to design a cute robot animal.
It was a self-portrait.
I think it was his ideal version. He gave us a bunch of concepts. We ran down this one, and
Yeah.
then I don't know if you've seen the Inspector Gadget part of it, but if you go to his ability/mod tab on the right there,
Yeah.
and then mouse over some of his abilities and watch the video.
Oh, that's right. No. In fact, this is what I was gonna say. Like, he is really cute and an awesome design in general.
Oh, no.
But he's actually really scary.
You moved away right as the reveal happened.
Yeah, here. I'll scroll back. I messed up.
The
But
giant staple remover is the best part.
What's interesting is like early versions of him. There were some creepy
Oh yeah,
looking versions of him. He didn't
one of
always look cute.
That's on my list of design lessons from this project in my private journal. Leather bound moleskin.
Yeah.
And it is designing cute characters often results in creepy characters.
yeah. You find that, and then you find people that specialize in that seam.
Yeah.
Right between those two. But like I say, very cute. But then when he does his shit, he gets scary fast.
Which is,
Like
that's
his
part-
whole head opens up. It's horrifying. Yeah, go ahead.
Who are you thinking about
Well-
trying out today?
Well, for me, I have played a couple games, and I have gotten intimidated as shit. Just because, I mean, I think that I understand it, and we'll talk about how much I understand it while we play.
All right.
But Lockwood is the character that I sort of know the most about.
He is a wonderful ambassador for the game.
Right.
I'm particularly proud of him because when you're designing a scoundrel trope, it's very hard to stand out, and I think he manages to. And you'll see if you agree by the end.
Yeah. So, inside of his kit, it just made sense to me, which is part of the reason why when I play, I tend to play with him. Like, the idea that I can control sort of oblique angles with this bounce shot. Like, maybe it's not like the most efficient shot. Like, part of the reason that I'm bad at games is that I would prefer to do a cool thing sometimes than the right thing. And obviously, in a multiplayer tactics game, that's probably not going to make me a lot of friends.
I guess
But-
unless you're playing Lockwood, right?
Yeah, but the versatility of the bounce seemed exciting to me. But I wanted to talk with you specifically about, so inside each of these abilities are these extra mods that make that change the ability in some way. So like I said, I like that this thing is bouncy, and I like the idea that I can use this shot to bounce. And because I like to bounce it, I put on this mod that basically adds damage per bounce, right? But each of these abilities has sort of a sub-menu of configurations. Is there one of these in particular that you think has some interesting branches?
So I think with regards to the trick shot, you're going to have fun with any of those mods.
Yeah, they're all cool.
The one that I think is very popular now is on the trap. So
Yeah.
you go to trap wire,
Yeah,
and you grab the trap wall, which is the 3-pointer there.
yeah.
He's
So-
gonna need
Yeah,
mods.
I don't have the juice.
He doesn't have the juice.
It doesn't have the juice.
I don't have the juice, as they say.
Hold on, I actually think I can fix that.
No.
Yes,
We're gonna play legit. But tell me, the trap wall basically expands the.
Yeah,
the
it doubles
purview.
the size of it, which makes it a lot easier to catch people.
Yeah, because right now it's basically 4 squares.
Right. It's going to be a cross.
Yeah. And so, but this is a perfect example of what I was talking about. I like the idea that that my capacity to use the ability isn't going to be limited by the terrain. And I'll take that over doubling the size of it. Like, it's
Yeah.
a huge problem.
I tend to take the one that the cooldown is reset if I don't hit anybody.
Oh, there you go.
I take a couple of those on Lockwood. You'd be surprised how often you miss.
Hey, no, so tell me about Instatrap being a free action. I must not have noticed this before. So when you say a free action in the space of your game, we should establish that Atlas Reactor is like the tactics games of yore in some ways, except you're fighting alongside and against human beings.
Yeah. So I guess the most important part is you're making your decisions at the exact same time as your team, at the exact same time as the enemy team.
Yeah.
Everyone's planning out an action and a movement, and free actions are a way to do something on top of that usual action and movement.
Okay, so it is as powerful as I think it is. In a game that's turn-based, having an out-of-turn action is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I would phrase it more as an extra in-turn action than
Yeah.
an out-of-turn action. So it's still going to fall in the normal phase that it would normally
Sequence.
fall.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
You
it
just
falls
get
within
2
sequence. You
abilities.
just get the extra action.
Gotcha.
So free actions are pretty great. Lockwood doesn't have any by default, but he does have probably the best all-round
Kit?
rounded kit. Yeah, he's got something. He's got traps in prep phase. He's got dodges. He's got dashes that can do damage. He's got AOE, and then he can always hit even when he's not actually in line of sight because of the trick shot. So not a lot of dead.
The bounce that we discussed before.
Oh yeah.
And these abilities that I'm using, some of them are generating energy when they're hitting opponents, and then that's all working toward my ult, which, unlike a typical MOBA type thing, isn't something that I'm skilling up to or gaining levels over the course of the fight. This is actually something that's just a part of my kit, but I have to earn the energy to use it.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. And everyone, there are some slight differences, like the giant cat beast Rask.
Yeah. With the juice and weird stuff coming out of the back.
It's a juicy kind of day.
Yeah.
It automatically activates as soon as he gets to 100 energy.
Oh.
Because he also, and there's some other rules around that, like he gains energy whenever he gets hit, and all of his cooldowns reset when he ults. So there's some fun for him. He's got an interesting rhythm.
That is super cool. Well, hey, so how do you wanna get started on this, man?
So we're gonna do a custom game.
Okay.
Because that way I can give us enough time to chat. Usually it's 20-second turns.
Yeah.
I'll set it to 60 unless we want to hear. I am kind of interested in hearing you feel like you don't have enough time and seeing what that does to the pitch of your voice.
Well, yeah, it's just hear that timbre just go up, go in a northward direction.
Twig and Berry's range.
That's right.
Added hair.
But yes, you want to invite me in there?
Yeah, we'll set it to 60 seconds. And then actually, if you go to the front page again, so click the triangle in the top left.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, is this actually the Atlas Reactor? Is that this symbol here?
That is our symbol.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go. There's in the bottom right, you see custom games.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and click that, and you should just see mine.
Are you Willy Boo?
Willy Boo. I'm Willabuster.
You're gonna put it
Gotcha.
same team, right?
I'll fine. I'll put it against bots. Although I think it would be. How much time do we have?
Good time.
Bots.
You're throwing in some bots. You have your own. You have a user interface that allows you to build these games.
Yeah. So the custom game settings, which you can see at the top of your screen as well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm currently messing with.
The leader can use them.
Yeah.
Actually, only the
this is sort of a temporary custom game screen. We put it in a lot earlier than we foresaw doing because users wanted to set up their own tournaments and they needed custom games to do that.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to get off Lockwood and change to, okay, so Dr. Finn's got your back.
Yeah, and Dr. Finn is relatively new in your roster, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
I saw him in the newsletter.
Excellent.
So
I'll go back to default.
Juicy James is going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a tank, so I will play an extra damage dealer.
Now, who in this context, who is the tank? Is that
That's Asana.
Asana? Okay.
Yeah, she's
Shields.
kind of a dodgy tank, but she shields herself, and that's going to be where most of her mitigation comes from.
So in your game, is clicking ready important? Does that differentiate?
If you're ready.
Does that differentiate Atlas Reactor in a crowded marketplace?
Exactly. Really, we're just the same as everything else, but we have a ready button.
There's so many skins to choose from. Pup doesn't have a razor skin, does it? All right, I'll stick with the default because the default's pretty
go
great.
with the default.
And one last thing, have you messed with your catalysts at all?
Is that like a boost?
It's next to abilities and mods. And
Yep,
those are more like summoner. They're
No,
one
I did. I customized these also. So abilities have got customizations, and then these catalysts basically they just define other things for the character.
That's correct.
Right? They're like specials basically.
They're universal to all the characters, so they're a general set.
Oh, okay. So they're more like they're almost like the summoner abilities.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're get out of
Okay.
jail free cards, or they'll augment your abilities, get you out of trouble, but only once per match.
Absolutely. And then when we get into the game proper, you'll have a chance to talk about the specific way your turn-based system works, which I think is really fascinating. And I mean, it must have started on a table, right? You must have a prototype in your office of all this, right?
It actually, because our executive producer was the lead engineer on it,
Yeah.
we had a prototype in Unity within 2 days. So we were playing. There wasn't even enough time to build a paper prototype before he had it playable.
Oh, it happened that fast because it's so. The way that time works in this game, the way that it's partitioned out, is really, really interesting and very, to my mind, physical in a way, which is why I assumed it had started as a board game thing that you had like made in college and you've been like dragging around in your heart for 20 years.
I think that's true of all designs in a way.
Yeah.
I certainly grew up playing a lot of Warhammer and other tabletop games. So it definitely had some influence. I think we had just come off of the release of XCOM Enemy Unknown at the time, and we were huge League and players. So
Absolutely. Hey, so as Lockwood, I should be trying to get behind something over here, maybe.
yeah. So there is cover. So if you can get your back or front to a wall, you'll have 50% damage reduction in that direction.
Okay.
We only can move on the first turn. You can't.
Right. I see that all my stuff's gray down here at the bottom.
Yeah, and you can move a little bit farther if you don't use an ability. It doubles the length. So that's called sprinting. You'll see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the UI changes to indicate that.
Yeah.
So where are you moving? You're over there. So I'm going to back up that play going here. And then you hit spacebar to lock in.
Cool. And we should talk, as we get in more of the game, I don't want to lose that thread of sort of how
the game works?
came to be.
Yeah.
Well, just because it was very different for a while.
It was not simultaneous.
Yeah.
And that was the problem we found. Ultimately, it came down to one sort of thesis question, which is how do you make a turn-based game where you're playing more than you're waiting?
Right. So, I mean, in your mind, when you're talking about turn-based games and then it's gruesome, right? But we have to talk about like the market that exists out there for different types of games. And obviously, I wish everyone just liked the types of games that I liked. That would improve my life tremendously.
Oh, yeah.
But
I could use Call of Duty size bonuses every once in a while. Make my life easier.
But I mean, simultaneous turns solve some of the stickier issues about being able to play a game like this in a reasonable amount of time, right?
Absolutely. So right now, I think we're sort of queuing up our first combat actions over here.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to run after.
So down here, these indicators here, underneath the abilities, they tell you what phase these things take place in.
Hey, that's correct. And
so prep, so my tripwire that I threw that out ahead of time.
In the very first phase.
And that even happens before the movement occurs.
Correct. So there's prep, dash, blast. Those are the three sort of combat phases. And then if you survive that, you can move in the movement phase. And those things happen simultaneously within a phase. So anybody throwing out prep actions is throwing them out simultaneously.
And they're all getting thrown out. Right? They all happen. They're real.
Yep. And you always will get your action, which is sort of a unique thing for us, which is much more, board game like tabletop than
the reason it's important to clarify that is because now that we're in the blast phase and you see people, that little sneak.
He's creeping around.
You see right now we're in the blast phase and it looks like the actions are actually happening sequentially.
Yeah, but they're not really happening sequentially.
I suppose there's two ways of looking at it. But they are appearing to happen sequentially, but if you were reduced below 0 health, it wouldn't matter. You'd still get to do your action. You're in critical condition at that point. And there are some things like, in this case, I'm playing Pup, I have lifesteal on my primary attack. So if I then bit and stole enough life to come back from out of critical condition, I'd be fine. So
right, it would matter.
So mathematically, everything's happening simultaneously.
Yeah, and we kind of arrived at that. It was interesting because we had, like Will said, we were like, how do we make a turn-based game that you can play more than you're waiting? How do you take this fun turn-based thing? Because we like turn-based games, but it's not a huge audience. And how do we make it a little bit more fast-paced? And we tried each team goes at the same time, but that didn't work. That was Team A goes, then Team B goes.
That was sort of funny because within one game, you knew what was wrong with that. And that was the entirety of Team A going after one person on Team B, and then the entirety of Team B trying to figure out what to do about that.
Exactly.
So once we suggested, I guess we just need to make it all simultaneous, so it's always your turn. And that got kind of laughed off because the complexity of that was not something we wanted to deal with.
All right. Now, Will of Trion Worlds, I have activated my might
Okay.
And then I have activated this ability, the light 'em up ability that takes place in the blast turn to try to catch these guys.
That sounds
Is
phenomenal.
this madness?
They could dodge.
Yeah, my
That's
suspicion is that they will in fact dodge, but that's something I want people to see. So
wonderful. Yeah. So once simultaneous turns became a thing, dodges could happen because
Right.
everyone's putting in their actions at the same time. If you think he's going to call rock, you better throw paper.
exactly.
Scissors.
So who's this weird little glowing support dude?
That's Cork. He actually can attach sort of a beam to an enemy and a beam to an ally to damage and heal respectively. But once he does that, he doesn't need to keep using that ability. So it's just
Oh,
so he can stay within range.
it's just a freebie.
So once he he uses an action to get it attached, but if he can keep it attached by staying in range, he can then use other abilities instead and still do that effect every turn. Boom. It worked
Yeah,
out.
so that turned out good. So they decided in that case not to use abilities during the dash phase to get out of that, and they just got chewed up.
Yeah, and you can actually check their cooldowns to see if they've burned those abilities already by mousing over them. So you'll notice that if you mouse over Quark, he's only got one ability that you need to worry about as a dash. So it shows up, he's still got access to it.
Oh, I see.
All right, so I am actually going to, instead of biting Gray, I'm going to shoot a walkies in case she dodges, and then I'll hit Nyx.
All right, I am actually going to use my dash to get out of here.
That
Perfect.
sounds pretty cool. You should use a taunt when you do that. You have
taunt?
Wait, it doesn't have taunts yet.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't have taunts.
Finn.
Tell me about taunts. Is it a game mechanic thing, or is it a? Oh, these are those animations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are the called shots. This is when you think that you've got the enemy team dead to rights. You're the master of the mind games, and you're gonna kill them or you're gonna dodge out of the way. And so every ability has taunts you can activate for them, and you can collect them.
On the ability itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that it automatically pops up over the head of your character portrait in the bottom left
I see.
once you've targeted an ability. But once you've targeted that ability and you activate a taunt, you can't take it back.
Oh no. So people suffer under these conditions?
Yeah, we just need a trombone sound. Oh no.
Oh no, hey, through the wall. But there's a taunt.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Gotta go with that. Oh, it looks like Tycho, you may not have locked in the
Yeah, you think?
dash.
Yeah. All right, so for my cleverness, I am now left out of combat range of everybody. So way to go, Will.
Wow, and this is where some of the mind games come in. So Rask has his ult.
He's got no dash, so I would use yours because he's going to explode in a bunch of plasma.
Yeah.
He doesn't
So
have
I'm
any.
gonna go right here.
Yeah, that looks good.
That looks nice. Yeah. And then I'm going to go. Oh, I don't want to run after him. That's a terrible idea. Well, sure. I'll run into it. I got
Okay,
plenty of health.
cool. And then Cray is putting a slow on Rask.
So I guess everybody can see who's watching. You get to see what your allies are doing. You can see.
Yeah, I see your lines that are pointed out toward the different zones.
That is going to be continually improved, but you can hit Alt to make that more apparent again. Oh no! What happened to the dodge?
Yeah,
What happened to your dodge?
I'll have to watch your screen next
Yeah,
time.
we're not paying close.
Yeah,
enough.
you need to help this.
Are you right? Are you right clicking? Or are you
Yeah, I thought I saw a triangle,
Okay, well, you get one more chance at
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
a Trion, if
Achievement.
you will.
a Trion.
All right, so we're left click number 4, and then we're gonna left click a spot to run to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Left click.
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay. Okay. It's in. It's in.
Now I'm gonna watch this.
Okay. Is that what happened last time?
Sure. Last time I was just trying to move, I think.
Oh, that'll do it.
That's good for us to know. Yeah, because if you
So move is basically the fourth phase.
Not move if you try to dash because you're changing your position.
I see.
So it's kind of like instead of moving at the end of the turn, you're going to move halfway through the turn to get out of the way of stuff.
I'm gonna get this sniper away from us because he is bothering me, and I don't like the sniper standing next to us.
And so being behind cover is a 50% damage reduction from that direction.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to lock in. So I just used up one of my time banks, which are sort of two extra bits of 5 seconds that you get if you don't lock in time.
Oh, so there's a little bit of wiggle room for you.
Yeah, if you look above the blast phase indicator at the bottom near right of the screen, you'll
Yeah.
see little dots. It says time bank.
Oh yeah.
So
Little bonus ones there.
if you didn't lock in time, and that happens a little bit more often when you only have 20 seconds. Why do you
Yeah.
go backwards?
Oh, I have the mod.
Oh, you have the mod. Interesting. Oh, push him away from the point.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you could be dead this turn. So why don't you try using that catalyst, the shift catalyst?
Yeah, to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so
I can
jump.
heal him too, actually.
Oh, you're gonna heal him?
Yeah. Why
Okay,
not?
so you don't need to use that. Now you can just shoot him.
Or we'll shield him. Yeah. Your
Here,
team
here, here.
got you.
So out of these, I probably want to use the trick shot, right?
Yeah, you could just shoot him in the face.
Just shoot him directly.
So Why am I doing
And it's interesting with the template-based system because one cool thing about the trick shot is that as you get sort of advanced, what we'll do is rather than shoot someone directly, we will sort of shoot where they might dash and try.
Oh no! Listen, that's half of the reason we're talking, Juice.
Oh, looks like you got some extra help.
Wait.
That's Asana's ultimate coming in.
So Jerry, you're just saying because of the strategy there, you mean?
Well, yeah, just because. Oh, you had to. Yeah, because of how the game works, and all the mind games, they have a physical aspect,
Yeah.
right?
That was interesting actually because we started the game with more of a tab targeting scheme because that's we saw that work successfully in XCOM. And then
Sure. But the advanced play, I mean, but the difference, right, is that this allows for a ceiling, a skill ceiling that's completely different, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it allows dashes to exist with, but the shots can also hit somebody else if that person moves out of the way. It allows body blocks to exist, which is actually really cool. We've seen some amazing body blocks.
Oh, so that the shot itself is physical too off that bounce.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
so-
It stops at the first target.
Right. So if I wanted to save Rask, maybe I try to jump in front of you, so the shot would hit me first.
Right.
I'm going to.
As I was gonna say, when we play, sort of the biggest thing for us, we're always talking about the predicts.
Yeah.
Predicts. That's the internal term.
Exactly. Anytime you get a really good prediction on what the other guy's gonna do, probably my favorite point.
Do we even get to set? I guess we get to say the internal term, right? But we don't get to say the. We don't get to pick the official.
the official
Yeah.
term?
Well, no, it happens out there. Have people needed to generate some
Some terminology.
custom language to
Well, catalysts are definitely catas now.
catas? That works.
Nobody's gonna say, oh, come on, this could be good.
Yeah, mods, you have your loadout, but that's pretty standard. The predicts, I honestly,
Mad
I don't know
predicts.
if we came up with that or if I stole that from Pepper Titan, who's one of our hardcore players. That may be his term,
Peppertito.
Peppertito.
So in this turn, can I move up to here and then do light them up?
The action always goes first.
That's right. That's right. So not really.
So,
So
no,
I-
yeah.
it
so
is
I-
likely. I think you will die to Nyx this turn
Yeah,
unless
you think so?
shift behind a wall. But even behind a wall won't help you against his ultimate. You just need to get out of the line that he's probably
Yeah.
targeting at you, and actually at Dr. Finn and Asana. Yep, there it goes. So we're both burning some catalyst to buff the damage. Everybody moves out of the way.
So just so that everybody knows what's up. So we fight and we take people out, but it isn't like if a person goes down, they come back on a cooldown, right?
They're out
Yeah.
for a turn, and then they come back away from the fight.
And so it's 5 kills or the most after 9.
Yeah, it's most after 20 turns, and then that 9's there just since
Oh, okay.
we made, 11 turns so far.
So it looks like we're getting kicked out of the room here.
We had a scheduled live stream, which I didn't realize. Can we
Oh.
catch up with you on another, just switch over to another computer?
Yeah, sure.
I guess we have
How much time do we have?
2 minutes.
So I'm asking. We can finish this game, right? and then catch up on the other computer. Because
We need 5 kills. I mean,
we'll kill Gray, and then we'll let Tycho use his ult, and then we'll swap over. Because you just built up energy for the ult. Yeah, and definitely if you're interested in talking about some of the more high-level strategy, I could talk about that for hours.
yeah, quite comfortably.
Quite comfortably.
So that was an instance of Gray actually using her escape. She used her dash, but she still bought it anyway. Yeah. She did not dash to the right spot.
All right, and then so you're gonna ult through Rask.
I'm gonna take a bite out of him. I don't want to sit in the goo though. It's gonna throw that goo.
No one does.
No, nobody does.
No one does.
That. And there's some interesting counter play you can do with the different phases. Like, for example, I'm going to use a prep phase ability on you to bubble. Then you're going to dash during dash phase. And then my bubble actually explodes during blast phase. So I know that you're close enough to Rask so that I can prevent...
Yeah, so this is what I mean. This is some...
Oh, no.
Oh, and he dashed.
He dashed, which meant that the damage was... neither of you dealt damage to each other.
And he dashed and then ulted on top of us.
On top of the team.
We're all whiffing.
And we're all whiffing.
So the bot just made us all look dumb.
And now you're chomping
I'm
the air.
And I feel foolish. And now I am out of range of him. So it's I'm just an all-star right now. But it does give me a chance to stealth and go get some health, I guess. So that'll work. So...
Let's see what happens here. My presumption is based on the fact that he wants to be where he is because he's surrounded by delicious targets.
He is surrounded by delicious targets.
I'm surprised he did not dash again because all of his cooldowns were set. So maybe you can finish him off. All right, one more hit.
Yeah, it's really close.
I had him completely out of range.
But yeah.
But he's gonna he got a double kill there. That's that way. So.
All right, I think we can finish him now, though. If
he yes.
Dash. He doesn't dash. I can't. Oh no, I'm out of range. But I think that's it. I think we're getting kicked out.
Oh yeah. Well, here. I can give you a call back.
Okay. Yeah. It'll take us probably 5 minutes to go secure another computer, and we'll give you a call right back.
Sounds good.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
See it.
Okay. I think I've got. Let's see your screen. So you're gonna try out Nyx.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think that Nyx is kind of interesting. So when you guys were gone, I was goofing around in here, just looking at different freelancers, if you will. And I saw some interesting patterns in here as far as what their abilities and mods look like, as far as like when a character is most effective during different phases.
Yes, actually.
It's one of the ways that you can. It's one of the ways that you can customize and sort of define these different roles. Like I was checking out these Gremolitions dudes, right?
Yeah.
So he's got this dash, right?
Right.
But everything else he does takes place in the blast phase, which is to say, like the end of the phase.
So that means he's not laying out any traps. He's not making any predicts. He's not killing.
No. And then you look at there's a similar role here for Nyx, right? Where Nyx is a sniper. But so in your mind, Will Cook of Trion Worlds, were you basically just thinking about what a sniper is and what they do, and in your mind you were like, it's going to be a combination of preparation because they're stealthy hunters and blast phase abilities? Like when you think about the role and when they would do what they do, I mean, does that help you define what they are?
I would say that I'm scrabbling for any rubric.
Oh, really?
anything to give me purchase of the smooth face of designs. With the sniper, yes. We knew he had this drone that we wanted to be like an Overwatch sort of thing. We knew that we wanted him to be able to stealth. And those two things just seemed like they needed to be done at the beginning of the turn, especially the drone. You need to set up your Overwatch before people have a chance to move. Sometimes they just evolve differently. He actually started out with a drone that was more of a line of sight only kind of thing, like that grenade you throw on XCOM that gives you
Oh, of course, yeah.
in front of your sniper.
It seems like XCOM's coming up a lot.
Yeah, well, it was definitely a fun turn-based game that kind of gave me a start, right? It gave me a path to making something that I thought could be visceral and action-packed for a turn-based game. And then we quickly sort of left it behind in a lot of ways as we tried to figure out simultaneous turns. So he actually started out as a kit that was very similar to what ultimately became our tracker, Gray. In fact, the concept art for them, I had basically 6 abilities, and I only needed 5. And 3 ended up going to this character, and 3 ended up going to Gray. Yeah.
I see. Just because their role, basically, they take up different parts of the sniper Venn diagram, right?
Yeah, you got it. The sniper. So, like you said, they're both sort of predators in that way. So they have similar ideas. They both have like Gray actually has trank darts, which started out on sniper, but that's a way to weaken people before they get a chance to fire.
So his definition, he's more of that control. Like back in D&D 4E, they had that idea of the controller.
Yes.
So he exists. He's got a little bit different kind of CC type active, and it seems like Nick's can slow also.
Yes. So, but his runs in blast phase. So the difference is whether or not they have a chance to get out of the way first.
Oh, so Gray's isn't blast phase?
Correct.
Interesting.
We need a couple more people.
James. Oh, yeah. I'll go bring more people. Yes, I'm not online, so Nick's there.
Yeah. So interestingly, Nick's became. They're both firepower characters, but Nick became sort of a solo hunter with extreme range, and Gray became more of sort of an information firepower, lower damage but more AOE.
Right.
So you can see places you aren't at because your drone sticks around.
I didn't notice that Dr. Finn has got gross worms in his backpack.
Those are eels. That's because he's the ealer.
He's the ealer? Did you really?
You don't, look, it's not me, it's him. It's not him. He's the Sturgeon General. He's got more puns than you know what to do with. His entire like 3 hours of VO recording was all puns. There's an engineer on the team named Danny that makes let's just say he enjoys it. You could see torments people, but
he needs it.
He's fueled by it. He's fueled by the reactions to it. And he gave us a list, a 3-page list of puns specifically for Dr. Finn, and we said, fine, we're just going to do the entire script that way.
What's Aurora's deal? What's going on with these holograms?
So Aurora, most of her abilities do damage to enemies, or they do something to enemies, and they do something to allies. So there's a little bit of a...
Oh, so it's similar to the... as a support type character, it's similar to the Quark, where there's a relationship there. Like you want your supports to sort of feel dual polarity, it sounds like?
I would say they end up that way quite often because there's a tendency to want support abilities to do everything. And we have to peel away from that sometimes. But she's the one that with one button press will heal and do damage. He sets up, he sort of has to prep those things, and then if he's doing well, he stays in position and keeps them going, and then can do other things as a result. So he can charge up the beams to be overpowered once they're already attached. He can change his position with a dash and still try to stay attached. Stuff like that.
Yeah. So I think I mentioned to you that, I had read, there was a really long, sort of a long form article about Atlas Reactor over at Polygon a while back.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah. That was the first time I think that I had seen it. But I had also, I had gone through there, and somehow, even after I downloaded it, I was surprised to learn that I was only playing one character. I thought, for some reason, I thought that it was, the concept of the game was sort of like a deck builder almost, where I would put together 4 characters, just because in my mind, I was hooked on the traditional turn-based paradigm, right?
Yeah, you're not the first person to come in and actually expect that. So it's actually an option in custom games. You can set that up and play that way. We play, people controlling all 4 characters, and they have 60 seconds per turn, stuff like that.
Oh man.
So yeah.
So is there a cadre for whom like that's their Atlas Reactor? Like,
Both internally and externally. The thing we need to do better is probably build in a way to have them earn rewards while playing that way. So.
Oh yeah, see that's always the challenge, right? I mean, a lot of times in a game that has interesting multiplayer options, this is true for COD too. You know, you go in and you're actually enjoying yourself perfectly well, but all the interesting systems that get built to surround the game experience to encourage you and reward you, like those fall away if you play the way that you want it sometimes.
Yeah, so we're actually wrestling with that when it comes to game modes as well. Because we started as team deathmatch, because we figured with our new way to play a game, the easiest thing to do was, you know, hand someone a club and say, go hit the other guy on the head.
Yeah, just start throwing pixels at each other, right?
Yeah. Once we start adding objectives, things get a little bit more complex, and obviously the balance is definitely in question, you know, because if you don't have the idea of control points or flags to carry or bases to destroy, when you make these characters and have people get used to them, the balance changes substantially.
Oh yeah, did you ever play around with Dominion in League of Legends?
Absolutely, yeah.
See, I really liked Dominion, but it required that you think in a completely different way about itemization, what individual characters mean in those contexts.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
all right, fast, huh? Here we go.
Here we go. Don't screw up. It's generally a good idea to put in movement quickly. So even if you're gonna take it back, just so that people can get an idea of what you're thinking.
Yeah. Basically, just to identify, because I can look on these like sort of silver threads, right, that go out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. I feel like I've already moved too far forward, so I feel like Rampart is gonna hook me. I don't want to get hooked, so I'm gonna try to dash way too early. I should have played Finn. I wanted to taunt Finn. His taunt's super.
That's really cool looking. Tell me about this shield on this robot up here.
So that blocks everything except for the things that it doesn't block.
Great.
So you were looking at Gremlins earlier, our Gremlicians Inc. They because they fire in arcs and leave mines behind, that shield does nothing to them. They fire right.
Oh, he's irrelevant. Like all of his stuff is blast phase.
Yeah.
Really?
But so that shield will block any attacks that hit it straight on, like a Lockwood shot. Actually, Lockwood shot even bounces off of it and continues its on trajectory.
Right. So I'm going to try out this Overwatch drone over here on the right side, just to punish them if they try to do the flank, right?
There you go. Yeah, perfect. And it looks like Elle has come up on our side. She is overcharged. So Elle has an interesting ability. It's a full action, but you can still sprint, so it doesn't eat half your movement like most actions do. And it just powers up her next attack. So
it's just a prep.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm going to buff my next attack. I won't do anything this turn. I'll buff my next attack. And you can tell because that gun is twice the size it usually is. Sure.
But in this game, waiting in place is a pretty dangerous proposition.
She can sprint with it still, so she can actually move quite far and do it. So if she finds herself behind a wall with no targets, then she has something to do. Who are you going to hit? Yeah, that's the question. Yes.
All right, I'm going to try to just put one right through this character in front of us here.
Yeah, there's some interesting counterplay you can do too with your movement here. I know time's up, but one of the things in this game is you can like right click on an enemy to follow them. For early iterations, people were like, "Oh, that's way it's super powerful. You can just follow someone around the map." But there's a lot of counterplay around that. Like, what you can do is if you think someone's going to follow you, you'll walk through your own trap. And then they'll hit it on the way through. So I like to do that a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting. Chase came about because we started making melee characters, and we when the melee characters wanted to attack each other, it was really tough. They kept moving past each other. There was no way to know where the enemy would end up. Even though two people wanted to end up face to face, they couldn't do it. So we had to add chasing for that.
All right, so right now I'm outside the fight proper, but I'm going to try to roll up here on the left and utilize the vortex rounds.
Yeah, watch out for Elle behind us.
Yeah, definitely. Is that your job, Will? I mean, should you be dealing with this? You're like in a little playpen over there with her. I mean,
our support was closer to the damage dealers and not like going ham. But PG only knows how to go ham. That's our executive producer.
That's a good shift too.
Yeah, I gotta get the fuck out of here. That is a huge robot. Now, tell me if you guys play War Machine.
I do, but not for the same time. I love it though.
Yeah, it's definitely where I'm seeing this robot, especially the head, sort of knight-looking guy, and I'm definitely pulling a Signar.
You love our Jack?
Yeah.
Really? You see Signar there? Is that because it's blue?
It's the blue.
With the shoulder pads.
Yep. He's a dangerous character. There's a lot of taunting going on over here. Wow.
Oh, crap.
Willabuster, aren't you the designer?
Yeah, well, it turns out we're playing some designers, and also I'm going to call PG just absolute shit right now.
Yeah.
Because he's got his heal, and he's around nobody to use it, and he's going to pop it on himself. Just like worst healer in it.
I
gotta try. My feeling is that even if I don't hit Colonizer, I might get Cray off the snipe.
Exactly. Perfect. I'm afraid that Cray's gonna hold the block. Oh, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm irritated about it.
Hey, no, I was able to land it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, she's a pretty dangerous proposition. All those AOEs.
Yeah, she can. Her shotgun's actually pretty interesting. As you move the mouse in and out, it changes whether you're trading width for range.
Oh, it changes the choke?
Yeah, so it's really cool. It's just her primary, so she's got access to it all the time. She's probably going to hit you.
Oh yeah.
But if you don't know where she is, you could try using your crippling round, which has a slightly thicker, I guess, beam to hit with. There she is. So those purple regions that turn red, those are camo. They're kind of like brush from League of Legends, but they dissipate when someone gets shot inside or shoots from it.
I see.
Oh, the ultimate.
Just have her kind of cornered now, though.
Yeah, she can only dash one square, so.
Well, here.
Yeah, put that right up next to her. Perfect.
Exactly. So that way she'll either move over to the left where you guys can get some visibility on her, or she'll have to take the damage from that trip mine, or that trip. Rawr!
Yeah. So unfortunately,
I'm available for VO. I don't know if that's something.
Oh, it's something. You want to be our announcer?
Yeah.
We'll do that. We'll just. So I think something happened over here.
Oh yeah. What happened is we got our shit taken apart.
Oh.
You got to put the trap though. That was tough.
No, that helped. That set up the finale there.
So looks like Suspicious Danny has his ultimate. Kurvik, it looks like he took the mod on Rast that allows you to control when you activate your ultimate. So that's pretty cool.
That'll be handy for us. Well, I won't click anything because I can't. I'm not alive.
You're not. Perfect. You can't screw it up.
Oh man, you guys are
Well, I'm glad Pete ran off on his own.
You guys are kidding. I'm just gonna sit here and commentate, by the way.
That's cool. You just make it entertaining.
I just saw Suspicious Danny basically fire a shot against the wall and just bounce it. Was he trying to find a stealth character?
No, he was predicting my dodge.
Oh, I see.
I had to guess.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Strong, but
Do this.
It could end up being a bad turn for Quark. Let's.
Good. There's a lot of ults going on right now. Oh!
Yeah. Oh, it's a pile of ults.
This.
did you get him still?
I think I got him.
Right, so this is a perfect example of, Will thinking he knew where Danny was going to go. We'll see. Yeah, you got him.
3!
The strip.
Oh, nice shot.
Yeah, the long bomb from the sniper.
Oh, and you have your ult now, too. Which means you can shoot through walls.
Yeah, the fusion pulse.
Yeah, line them up. Oh, man, you can hit like 3 or 4 maybe. Should I dodge? I'm going to dodge. But where
I
to?
think that's the best I got is 2 targets here. Let's see how this goes.
So I don't know if you noticed, but you can see that kind of like a red or green outline depending on whether it's a friendly or hostile effect or aiming.
Yeah. Yeah, I see the slime.
Oh, do they just line up even better?
I think so. This might end up being real good.
Oh, fuck.
Not for you. It's real bad for you.
Yeah!
Okay, that worked out strong. Yeah, this robot is tired of our shit. No more.
I think I'm dead.
He just got you.
We'll see.
He just got you. Oh, so there's red lines on the ground or knockback. Did you guys talk about knockback already? Did I miss that?
I mean, it has happened. We haven't talked about it.
Okay. That shows you where people get knocked back to. It's the one thing in our game.
Oh, off of the damage. That's great info. Because if you're trying to set up combos on new areas, you need to know where that went. I was looking at it. I was trying to figure out where it was.
Like that trap there.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's a big friendly heal.
And enemy damage. And it goes through walls because, like I said, apparently we just need to give her everything.
Yeah.
Who's our first support? What do you want?
We have a good thing going. Yeah, that worked out real good.
Wow, you guys tied it up.
So this robot is just on his back flopping around. Is it a stun effect?
That is, we knock people down when they get knocked back, so they have a little bit more information as to why they lose their movement. So you lose your movement, you get knocked back.
Now, when they get knocked down, can they get up again? Or are our characters perpetually sort of kept down?
Yeah, you're never going to keep them down.
They'll get knocked down.
But they will get up again.
Exquisite.
Oh, look at that shield.
It's a good shield.
Not.
Oh, no. Well, if he moves, we'll still get him.
He will. I have every confidence.
Walk through it.
Walk through it. Oh, no. It got shortened by virtue of the shield. But now we can do this to him.
Yeah, it's interesting. The combo stuff on knockbacks is probably my favorite thing in the game. It's looking for a knockback.
Just the complexity, just like the space of playing around with it.
Yeah, exactly. It just feels super good when you put down the trap and you see the knockbacks going through it. You get the damage, and then they get knocked through a trap. But it's dodge out of the way, and then you're like, oh, my brilliant combo has been formed.
Well, that's what feels good about like Orcs Must Die, or right?
Right. The chain reaction.
The combo stacking, yeah.
Come on, let's finish him. Nice.
He's hurting pretty bad here.
Got that catalyst off. That's an example of you always get your action. All right.
It's time to go.
Yeah, stealth and get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got one support character, Helio, that has some pretty good combos. Because he's got a wall that he can put down that, and then it's one of his abilities, and then another one will suck people in towards him, and so he can put down that suck ability, and then the wall in between him and the enemy, and get some pretty sweet combos that way.
Yeah, so to be clear, what happens is he puts a black hole on somebody that detonates the next turn.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's that extra moment.
Yeah, so you put it on your tank, who's going to charge in next turn and surprise people, and then everyone gets pulled towards that tank. Now, because he used the black hole in the previous turn, he has the turn it detonates to put down a different ability so he can combo.
Oh, so his deal, from your perspective, is the ability to create a combo for himself.
Yeah, or he's creating the combo himself by putting the black hole on himself or an ally. And then he puts that wall down so people get pushed through the wall.
Now, if you push somebody via knockback through my Overwatch drone, do they take the normal damage as though they just walked through it?
Absolutely. I will tell you, though, that
I could wait up all night thinking about that.
there is a quirk with, here we go. Oh boy, did I dodge it? I dodged.
Whoa! Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm playing her next time. She's a dangerous character.
You said it.
She is an assassin, right, in the lore?
Yeah. She may or may not have something to do with why Blackbird's unique got like that.
Did not know that, actually. I really didn't.
Okay, so it's 4-4.
Many people.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're kind of up against it here.
Yeah,
I would really appreciate you winning this for us.
Well,
For the bragging rights alone.
I'm gonna see. Oh, nice warp there. I was able to get the hit.
Yeah, you guys go check that. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a huge hit.
that healer, he should be out of range now. His friend. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, you have robot problems.
Oh, the ping. Okay.
We want to try to eat this healer, right? Like this is job one, is trying to just pick up 0.5.
It's got no more dash. If you look at his
He has
Yeah.
his teleport down.
Right,
He has
so
his teleport.
he's got his shift. Oh, the chaos.
Oh no, is he gonna block my shot? Oh my!
Blocked it.
He just put the son of a bitch.
One more hit. Somebody hit him. Ow.
Yeah, he dashed up all the way over there. Okay, so you have your ult, which means you can predict. Does he have his flash up? You can predict where he's going.
I don't know if he has his cat out.
Is he gonna go? He might go on the health. No, that's too obvious.
Well, we got the health covered.
It's too obvious. Yeah, you have the health covered. So
Here. So, but either I hit 2 targets either way.
Yep.
Yeah, and that'll actually go.
Oh, it's
you're gonna hit.
It might be okay. It might be okay.
Just don't die, Rask.
Don't die. Nice.
Got it.
Oh, you got 2.
Double. So, Danny, we hardly knew ye.
That is game.
We hardly knew ye.
Turn 20.
All right. Well, here. Let me jump out of this game.
So did
And-
getting killed? You don't do that, right? It's not your thing.
Oh man,
Solid.
Awesome.
that was interesting.
We're looking at the stats right now.
Yeah.
You had top damage on our team.
Well, it's DPS. You know, you designed it, designer man.
I designed it and got not top damage on it.
So part of the reason I wanted to talk to you is because I knew right away that it was going to be something that would be interesting to me and something that would be special. Like it's basically everything. It's hybrids from hell to breakfast now, right? Like all designs, like everything is an RPG. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, everything's got levels, right? Everything's
Right.
got XP.
Exactly. And I mean, what you showed me, I know exactly, how to play the games. I've been clicking for a long time. And it took me a little while to understand what was going on. And I had expert help from you. are you a little spooked by the fact that there isn't really a way to explain this game in terms of like A plus B?
Well, you always say like, am I spooked or not?
Yeah.
Question of how much. Like,
Yeah, it's a threshold, right? The spook threshold. ST is the standard measurement of the
like
spook
a
threshold.
Stranger Things kind of spooked, or like a cat
Yeah.
kind of spooked.
Right.
You know what? I heard a story once about a game whose name I'm probably not even allowed to say when promoting our
Albert Einstein.
Right. So the game in question was a MOBA-like, and it may or may not have struck it big.
Yeah.
It had
potentially.
Yes. The rumor was that it had terrible closed beta feedback. Nobody could understand the game, as MOBAs are wont to do, and but they had one stat, which is if you played 8 games, you played 80 games. And I'm happy to say that if you play 3 games of Atlas Reactor, you're going to play a ton. So if we can, I will always worry about onboarding and could we explain it better and what little polishy things that I make a giant list of and irritate the crap out of James here with all this stuff. He's like, it's strictly necessary. Like, isn't the game already fun? And I go, yes, it's already fun once you get it.
Yeah, that's the spookiest thing. Like, just from as an outsider to, sort of what you do, like, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that making a great game is like the first thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I play a lot of great games. You know what I mean? And I'm the only one that thinks they're great.
It's funny because Will, as a designer, gives a very elegant answer. I would have said, yeah, I'm spooked. Of course, you have to be spooked about it because, you go home and we love it, and we know it, but there's so much competition out there that, you can't, plan on someone giving you, 2-3 hours. If you got to get them excited about it and wanting to play it.
Yeah, it's not like my palms are sweating as I talk to what could be an important piece of the get the word out puzzle right now.
Oh yeah. Well, listen, I think that what you've done is really interesting, and I appreciate your taking some time to sort of walk me through it. I'd love to jump in again with you sometime and learn some more.
Absolutely. Well, you hit custom game right there. You may or may not have a captive audience.
No, I have to put calories in this device. I apologize.
In the form.
That's right. In the entity. But thanks a lot, Juice and Will. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I can lead your team to victory yet again.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you winning the game for us because it's going to make walking over to our design pit a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And just one thing too is we love the crap out of this game. So if you have questions, anything else that you want to know, available. So just shoot us, emails and stuff. We love talking about it.
Yeah,
so.
actually, I just found,
no, I can tell.
I was excited to learn recently that we're actually going to set up a 4-on-4 with a big overhead spectator monitor at that, so we can do a competition.
Oh, killer. Well, hey, listen, I'll roll through. I'll definitely say hi.
Yeah, great. Thanks very much.
Hey, see you guys.
All right, bye.